All right, great to be here today. Meet KUBI, the robotics stand that lets you see and be seen on video calls. So it fits virtually any tablet with our unique mount that we've created here. So here's an iPad mini, putting it in portrait mode. You could also put it in landscape mode. And we really think it's best with larger tablets, so you can really see the person on the other end. So here we have my partner, Ilya, on a FaceTime call. And so now he can remotely control over the web 300 degrees of pan and 90 degrees of tilt. And notice how smooth the motion is, and it's virtually silent. So let's take a closer look at exactly how it works. So it's connected over Bluetooth. So we just launch our KUBI app, and then it connects over Bluetooth 4.0, so there's no wires required, or you don't have to worry about connectors changing on you. And now KUBI is ready to receive controls from anywhere in the world. So let's switch over to the laptop. And now imagine that my partner, Ilya, is in New York. And he wants to call in here to the launch conference. So all he does is enter the unique ID of the KUBI, clicks connect, and then now the new feature that we're just announcing here today is the ability to call me. So he just clicks the call me button, and it requests a call on FaceTime. So neither side needs to go and open FaceTime. It just automatically initiates the connection. And so now, Ilya, look to the right. Ilya, look to the left. Ilya, look down at the audience in the front row. And so you see him, he sees you. You can tell where he's looking from anywhere. And now let's say he wants to connect to somewhere else in the world, like say over near the judges table. All he needs to do is click connect and request a FaceTime call there. And he will be instantly connected to another location and virtually teleported somewhere else in the world. So now he can look at, individually address each of the judges, and interact.
Do I get a hat too?
And so you can imagine how this works just as well on the conference room table when you're telecommuting, and you can turn and individually address each of your colleagues. Or Ilya loves to use it with his young child. When he's traveling, he can just follow her as she runs around the nursery. And so we're proud to announce that we're able to retail this for only $249. And it starts shipping this summer. And we have an open API that enables developers to integrate these similar controls directly into their video calling and other applications. And we've already been shipping our development kit units for 2 months to developers who are creating awesome applications with this technology. And we've announced that we've just opened an angel round, so you can find out more details at our angel list profile. And come by, check us out in the demo pit, and meet KUBI. And remember, KUBI, it's the next best thing to being there.
Questions from our panel?
So I've actually attended a conference, not unlike this one, through a similar, you have a few competitors. This is in Boston. This one actually was not stationary. It allowed me to walk around the room.
Right.
It even understood that it shouldn't let me fall off the stage. Right. It had those kind of sensors, more expensive. Are you planning to go towards the sort of moving robot or just a stationary view?
So we actually initially looked at doing a roaming robot, and as we went out and showed it to customers, we realized that most of the value was the ability to look around a room. Yet in designing those types of robot, most of the cost is in that base, the battery packs and the motors required to do that. So we said, let's create a very affordable telepresence solution that concentrates on the main value, the ability to look around a room. So now you can really get like 10 or for some of the price of some of those robots, even 100 of these for the price of a roaming robot, and now have them all over, and you can instantly connect to any location.
Do you have to tell it where to pan it? Or when you said look left, look right, was that voice commands? Or?
It was that web interface that was up on the big screen. So it's actually a web page we're serving that you log into.
And you have to, I use the mouse to pan, or does it figure out who's talking right now?
So right now, he was controlling it, like by tapping, saying, I want to move to there, I want to move to that location. We're looking at different auto-tracking features, like there's already facial recognition that's supported on most tablets, and so you could use facial recognition to follow that. And those are the types of applications that the developers that we're partnered with are looking at integrating.
What is the most awesome application you can possibly think this being used for, apart from looking at sleeping kids and obviously the conference call? Like the best thing you could possibly in your wildest dreams do with this?
I can definitely
Or
answer
maybe
that.
not in your wildest dreams, but think you can talk about on stage.
So
We might not want to tell you that.
You could be a dreamer, but realistically, so you have parents, you guys all have parents, you probably tried Skyping with them, and the calls don't work because your parents don't know how to sit in front of the camera. You're like, Mom, can you just, okay, this isn't working, okay, I'll just call you, I'll see you next week.
That's the most awesome one you can think of?
So
It's the most realistic. It works.
Let me jump in, because I guarantee you my 82-year-old Persian dad's not going to mess with the robots. He's like, what is this thing running around my house? When you said this, I got super excited. I do not think you should focus on personal and business. Make this just a boardroom product. Yeah. Like your standard Starfish speakerphone. And if you just solve that one problem and make it perfect for that for a boardroom, to go around and look at it, I think you can charge more for it. I think you standardize the experience, and I think you'll make a lot more money. And I think if you try to make it for all these different experiences, you're going to waste a lot of time until you figure out that you can't actually make one product that solves all these different use cases. And there's a ton of money in that boardroom and experience.
We've been kicking around the slogan Polycom for everyone, so
Yeah, and it's really...
Yeah, so then build Polycom for everyone. That's better and cheaper. Because it's pretty impressive for $250, right? But I've used technology like this when I worked at Google 7 years ago. In every conference room, you have cameras and 2 screens, and it moves around, it figures out who talks.
Exactly.
Everything, right? But it costs $15,000 per room, or probably more. So do Polycom for everyone.
Yeah, right now every conference room can basically afford to have a conference phone in there, but why not video conferencing as well?
And you could still have babies sitting in those conference room chairs.
We do all the time.
So chiming in, the discussion yesterday I know is a lot about like think big and all that, and I actually like that vision of enabling developers to do whatever. But I think starting with this product, I'm a big +1 to Jason's comment. It allows you to sort of own a piece of it and get permission from users to do more and more, but it's a very clear place to start. So I think it may sound like we're trying to constrict the idea, but really just trying to focus where you go early on. And then you go to the bigger vision.
What do the judges think about the fact that it's independent of the computer and the software? Is that an asset that the street can do whatever it wants with it? You could put an Android or a Windows 8 in. You could use Skype or GoToMeeting or Google Hangouts. Or do you think that is confusing because people want a full soup to nuts solution? Should they build a tablet or license a tablet and make the speaker system and everything built into the hardware? What do you guys think?
Well, how easy does it integrate? You just kind of plop it in and click a few things, and no, they should, have it all open to everything. But if it's really difficult, then yeah, they should try to build something together. But so I guess it's a question: how hard is it to integrate with all these other various packages out there?
It's super easy, and I mean, we're definitely focused on iOS as our first release, and Android is in the works. Windows 8 potentially. That's why we chose Bluetooth 4.0 because it's starting to be a really universal standard. We did this before the Lightning connector came out, and we didn't get screwed over by that introduction, and we're really happy about that. The reason we went with a tablet solution and this keeping the brains in the tablet idea is because most robots, when they come out right now, they're more or less obsolete. They're not cutting edge when they're released because of the product development cycle. So here, we release the robot, and then tablet, iPad 5 comes out, and now you have HD++ teleconferencing built into your robot, and that's awesome.
I noticed when you brought it out, it had a battery pack on it. You didn't have to plug it in.
How long does the battery last when you're using an external battery pack like that?
We're designing it for about 4 hours.
So I could take this in the backyard if I was having somebody's birthday party, or I could take it to the beach or put it out on a deck and not have to plug it in and just have people watching what's going on in my backyard.
It's not designed to live off the battery, but it's designed that, you know, you're at home, it lives in your office, let's say, and then, oh, you know, I want to do something in the kitchen, pick it up and grab it and go. It's not going to live the whole day, but it'll last a couple of hours.
And it's portable. You see we've mounted there on a tripod, so you can virtually
If you
bring it
make
anywhere.
10,000 of them, what would it cost? What would your cost be if you made 10,000 units? Next year, when you make 10,000 units, what will the cost be?
We're aiming for $50.
Right. So then you could sell it for 150 even next year, maybe.
We'd like to make money, so probably 199.
Yeah. Okay. What do you guys think
That's
about?
the key, right? That's the price point is the key. I mean, and you've got a company in the demo pit called KUBI, right? They're taking, you know, old iPhones. Who has an extra iPad that they could use for this application?
4.
Lots of people. There's going to be tons of extra older devices.
Yeah.
So I think it's a no-brainer the way you're approaching it.
Yeah. And is there a security feature for this? Do you think that this has security, like pop-up security? Like, can the screen go dim, and when somebody walks into a location, could it know that they walked in and light up and be like, hey, welcome to the lobby? You know, like, instead of having security guards in every lobby overnight, if somebody walked up to the lobby, it could be like, and go to a central security person in Bangalore or something.
And that could certainly be integrated into the applications. I mean, today we're using all the existing video calling applications, so the same security infrastructure that they already have is what you're using here.
Keep it for the boardroom. You're going to make so much money.
All right, let's hear it for Revolve. And next up is Boxbee.